Welcome to 5 Star Weekly. Is Thiago Almada destined to be on his way back? Could this really happen? Getting all that and more coming up. Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. Welcome to the show, 5 Star fam. I'm AJ, and this is Michael, and it's the international break, so there wasn't a game recently, but yes, there is some news to go over. And before we do, let's give some big shouts out to our loyal Patreon fam, and most notably Gavin, Jordan, Niall, Andrew, Chris, Nick, and Jeff. Thank you all so much for your patronage as always. But yeah, if you guys want to become part of those shouts out, then definitely get on the higher tiers and you will hear your name called. But yes, so let's get to the news. Like mentioned, it is the international break, and a bunch of our players are away. 12 players, 10 first team players. It's outrageous. For some reason, always do this. But yes, Miguel Almiron and Paraguay, they won 2-0 versus Uruguay. So yeah, that's a pretty significant win, actually, I would say. As you know, Uruguay traditionally have been a bit of a bigger national team than Paraguay at times. So, definitely good on the Paraguayans and Miggy for that. Bartosz Slisz, he scored for Poland to make it 2-0 versus Moldova. And as well, you saw Jay Fortune. He scored for Trinidad and Tobago versus St. Kitts and Nevis, winning 6-2. Literal playing the farmers there. And then Saba scored for Georgia versus Cape Verde to make it, or Cape Verde probably, to make it 1-0 in a 1-1 draw. So, yeah, pretty much most of the teams playing just the teams that are around them, and it's not really that crazy. These are just tune-up games, really, so it's not really anything crazy. But anything you'd like to say about any of the our players on international duty?
Yeah, I have a few things to say. First thing is, great to see them scoring. It's good for their confidence. There's a bit of a caveat in a lot of these teams that our guys are playing against, because these are friendlies. They're not super competitive. I think Trinidad and Tobago beat St. Kitts like 6-2. It's a bit of a one-sided affair. Like you said, the other game is Slisz kind of like playing farmers. It's another one where they're not exactly challenged a super amount. So our guys scoring is not exactly indicative of them like hitting another gear and just like finding their form and etc. It's just more like a little bit easier than what they're used to, perhaps. Regardless of that, it's still mentally a confidence booster for them. So I'm happy that they did that. Now I think Slisz and Jay Fortune both scored in the 80th to 90th minute. I think 88 and 85. And so they're late scoring, and I think they were both kind of blasts from them, so that's really cool. At least Jay's was. I said Slisz and yeah, because Sabas Labajinses was in 45+1, I think, when he scored his. And what was interesting about Sabas is he threw down an A after he scored as his celebration. Now everyone's talking, is it Atlanta or is it an A for his daughter, because it starts with an A for her name. And so what I say, to satisfy everyone, why can't it be both? So let's just roll with that.
I don't dislike it. I mean, why not? If he's representing multiple things, just makes it kind of more cryptic. Sure, why not? That's right in line with how Atlanta United likes to do it anyway. So I don't see a fault. He doesn't have to explain his celebration, so no big deal. But it definitely is good to see them hit the back of the nets. Competition definitely does play a part here as far as the seriousness to take it. But it definitely gives them confidence. moving forward. And I mean, Schleich, definitely seems like a confidence player. When he scores in bunches. So, hopefully you
Let's
can
be real.
continue.
Our whole freaking team is a confidence-based team.
Oh, for sure. Exactly. So, and that probably might be also why they're in MLS. That's just part of it. But, next bit of news is Brad Guzan. He'll make his broadcasting debut at the Club World Cup. Technically, I mean, he has done some for, I believe, Fox Sports when he was injured with his Achilles, but he will be joined by Kevin Egan, notably, and also a former Five Stripe in Mo Adams. So, the eloquently spoken Mo Adams with the, he's got the British accent. He's also, I think he's probably got a future in broadcasting anyway, I think. But, definitely, I think an interesting crop. And, Brad Guzan just gets to, stay at home pretty much. And, just watch a whole bunch of games. And, Brad Guzan also probably destined for some broadcasting just with his, I think he's got that banter for sure when we've seen him speak. So, I think it's great. But any thoughts on Brad Guzan?
Just legendary banter I'm expecting from him, and especially Kevin Egan, maybe even Mo. So that's interesting that I didn't know he was coming back to be on the broadcast, because I remember he was in Saudi Arabia and got injured last I heard about him a while ago. So Mo Adams. So interesting to see him back doing that. That's cool. And I mean the potential for just absolutely legendary banter with Brad Guzan and some of the other guys is the sky is the limit. I mean, you put him on a panel with Dax Riccardi or Sasha Clenchton, Kevin E. It could get wild. I mean, there's memes about get Brad Guzan off the broadcast, out of the booth, because he's kind of a loose cannon. He's going off saying some wild stuff. He's just a funny kind of crazy guy. He's entertaining. He's got that wrestling kind of persona, where he can just really ham it up and go hard into things. So I'm really excited to see him. It does look like he's angling towards a broadcasting career job after he retires, which maybe this is a bit of a hint that may be sooner rather than later. So, we'll see. Either way, I mean, I'm excited. I wasn't necessarily excited for the Club World Cup that much, but this I will watch just exclusively for the potential of seeing Brad Guzan say some crazy stuff.
Right, and especially if you can pair up with Kevin Egan, then I think, there's potential for some good banter there, because Kevin Egan definitely likes to partake in that as well.
Yeah, I mean, his background in wrestling too, absolutely.
Oh, for sure. So, that should be something to look forward to. Something that might not be, if it ever came to fruition, but we'll talk about it. We'll basically give our thoughts after. But according to Marcelo B. Solares on X or Twitter, he tweeted out that, or posted now, Atlanta United sued Botafogo in FIFA for failure to pay the transfer of Thiago Almada for $21 million. Resolution was in favor of the MLS club, he says. And basically there was a post with the media of basically the document, the decision of the player's status chamber. It says, it looks like it was translated a little bit, so there is a bit of kind of okay, the English isn't perfect, so we'll take it, I think with that in mind. But it more or less says that $3 million plus net of any taxes or any other deductions as outstanding remuneration, plus 5% interest PA, which Michael did some research before, and that means per annum, right?
Yep, that means annually in Latin.
Annually in Latin. From July 22nd, 2024 until the date of the effective payment. And also, $18 million US dollars. Same thing, 5% per annum, as from August 30th, 2024, until the date of effective payment. Basically, there's a fine in the amount of 150,000 US dollars has been imposed on Eagle Football, or Botafogo, and which must be paid to FIFA within 30 days of the notification of this decision, which was June 5th. There was also a bank account number and a reference to the case, and that's essentially if it's not made within 45 days of the notification of this decision, the following consequences shall apply. The respondent shall be banned from registering any new players, either nationally or internationally, up until the due amount is paid. The maximum duration of the ban shall be of up to 3 entire and consecutive registration periods. So that's 3 transfer windows, if that is the case. I would imagine they would just be paying this ASAP. But the present matter shall be submitted upon request to the FIFA Disciplinary Committee in the event that the full payment, including all applicable interest, is still not made by the end of the 3 entire and consecutive registration periods. And the consequence shall only be enforced at the request of the claimant in accordance with Art.24 Par 7 and 8, and basically just some regulatory areas where this stuff is lawfully enforced. But essentially though, AJC Doug Roberson, he did pontificate on X that if Lyon didn't have the 28 million to pay Botafogo for Almada, which this is the club that he now plays for, because basically Crystal Palace, Olympique Lyon, and Botafogo are all owned by Eagle Football, and so they're kind of just like loaning him to basically the sister clubs that they all own. And right now, of course, he plays for Lyon, but it seems likely that Botafogo won't have the 21 million to pay LA United, and it will be very interesting. But Doug Roberson also mentioned that they have not opened up any negotiations with LA United. So there is basically, he probably still will stay, a Botafogo player in that sense, as Lyon kind of are in some hot water to be able to register new players. So that's kind of a big kind of issue there. And will he just default and be returned as an LA United player? Probably unlikely, but stranger things have happened in some senses. That's okay. If they don't pay any of that, well, I don't know if there is a precedent, but it is, when you have these type of owners that own a whole bunch of clubs in various countries, and they can't pay, the full transfer fees in the installments that they were stipulated. Well, there might be some unprecedented things that might start to happen because of, just like, this type of stuff usually doesn't happen. Usually these owners, probably because they own so many clubs, they can just kind of skirt by it and it'll be okay. Eventually, those fees will be paid, and they'll just pay the small slap on the wrist, and it might be fine. But of course, it got the imagination of rumor accounts all over the world speculating that Thiago Almada has to return to LA United then. But probably not the case. But it does excite probably some people in the prospect of that, in some semblance of a imaginative world happening. But what were your thoughts when you heard about this?
Just real quick, I feel like perhaps the ownership group Eagle Football is trying to set up some kind of better payment plan instead of being like, well, I'm not going to pay Atlanta United, let's say like 21 million, like I told them I was going to do. Instead, I'll wait for like FIFA to hit me with this penalty, and then we have interest tacked onto it, and we have the penalties tacked onto it as well. But perhaps with that agreement, it's kind of like agency gets people to pay versus just straight up paying the bill in the beginning, is through installment payments over time, which of course you'll end up paying more money in the long run, but perhaps Eagle Football just can't pay lump sums, so they'll pay over time, and they'd rather do that versus what had been doing. So that could be a reason why they're dragging their feet and things are the way they are right now, because like you said, this is a group that owns multiple clubs. You just move things around, find the money in one area, put it in a different pot, but evidently they're unable to for whatever reason, or refuse to. There's also some like speculation as to are they selling the players needed in order to make these payments to get the money? Are they doing what they need to do to get right? Who knows? But we'll see how the remuneration or whatever it is, how that goes. It's a sticky, crazy, weird kind of situation, because like you said, it's not really something that happens that often. It's not something that we've really experienced before. I'm going to be very worried with dealing with kind of some of the Brazilian clubs going forward if this is the way that things can go. That makes me feel like maybe don't buy or sell to them and things like that. That might not be might not be good financially for us in the long run. But it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, stuff is weird. Financial stuff is weird sometimes.
Right, and it is that this is the thing. These are the clubs that can afford these big transfer fees for, kind of non-established European players that eventually will be going there. So there is a bit of the risk anyway, and yeah, it is that you hear a lot about maybe some Argentine clubs, maybe some Brazilian clubs that their checks are bouncing for their players, and there's those type of things, and no one ever likes to hear that, of course, but it is it's kind of a little bit part and parcel of football sometimes, because some of the most wealthy clubs are also some of the most corrupt ones, and what can you do there? Like, it's basically you want to sell your player, and eventually you might get your money, and hopefully you do sell it to some owners that are able to pay all of the transfer fees. And obviously Atlanta United seems like that type of club that obviously can and does it pretty expediently. But as far as installments, I mean, that's a pretty, again, part and parcel thing of football as well, though. So that very rarely are there clubs that pay the entire transfer fee in one lump sum in one transfer window. It's usually across multiple windows or months, years even. So it's probably not gonna end up in Thiago Almada being an Atlanta United player again, but it's definitely interesting, and it's led to some speculation for some Atlanta United fans that what if? Well, where does he play? Like, well, we have 3 number 10s. Who plays on the left? Who plays on the right? And it's, obviously people get excited about that because, yes, Thiago Almada, amazing player. That would be incredible to get him back again, but very unlikely that I think Almada would even want to take that step backward.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, he would probably want to.
He's hoping some other clubs, like the club gets forced to maybe even sell him at a discount because of the financial strait they're in, that they got to get him out of here. And then, or, what have you, maybe that's the case. I don't know. And then a top club gets pines over, tries to get him on a discount for cheap. And then he goes there. Maybe that could be what happens with him. I feel like that's what he would like, like a big team comes in, swoops in and picks him up, and like a, he's not ready for like Champions League yet probably, but like, like a high level team that's out there to compete, like that would be really exciting, and I'm sure that's something he would like to do. So maybe that's something that happens, who knows.
Yeah, and I think Olympique Lyon maybe was playing Champions League football last year, and so if not, at the very least, it was Europa League. It was Europa League. So
okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
Right, but if there is a smaller transfer fee, there is a chance that he can get a higher salary wage. So there is that little bit too. But either way, the crux of it is that it's very unlikely that LA United will have Thiago Almada back in 5-stripe colors. But also, basically regarding the Club World Cup anyway, per AJC, 740 rolls of grass were grown in Colorado and driven 30 hours to Atlanta on refrigerated trucks and then rolled out at the Bends this week. And so, it will, of course, allow all of the club teams to be able to play on grass at the Bends, just like every single time that, we have basically foreign clubs come and play on our turf. But it is the interesting bit that this is the exact reason why we have such a massive away trip, because we are renters in our own home, and we can't basically even have a massive run of games at home. We basically through the entire summer, maybe not the entire summer, but a good chunk of it is it belongs to other clubs that are basically prioritized ahead of us. So that's fantastic, but this is what the Benz was always meant to be. It was not only for the Falcons and Atlanta United. But also regarding the Club World Cup, the players, the MLSPA, the Players Association, they have pretty much done a kind of little protest, more or less, fair share now, but they essentially are wanting a participation bonus in the Club World Cup. Obviously, this doesn't affect Atlanta United very much because we're not playing in it. But Inter Miami, Seattle Sounders, amongst those teams that are playing in it, and those players are wanting more concessions, more basically kind of just a payout from having to play more games, essentially risking their career to a degree, if we're gonna say it that harshly. But Tom Bogert also says the MLSPA increased their negotiating position from asking around 35% to 40%, and that basically MLS owners made their offer worse as a punishment, and for players speaking up, so the MLSPA made their offer worse too. But and basically that's MLS spent most of last week making threats and promising retaliation against the MLSPA and players because Seattle's players, they wore t-shirts that expressed frustration over the league's refusal to engage about compensation for it. So it's definitely interesting. But you have any thoughts on that?
Just pay your players, commensurate with what they give you. If you ask them to do more, you gotta pay them more. That's just that's the bottom line. Fairness is fairness. So I would like to see that be the case for what's happening in Seattle, at least, because that's where a lot of this is kind of the flashpoint happening.
Michael had to quote Stone Cold Steve Austin there, and it is pretty much that's what it is. It's I mean, you ask your people, your employees, to work more, pay them. It's as simple as that, especially when it makes your club look really good. If you can incentivize them to do well in a competition that is going to play against other world
the Club World Cup stands to make a shit ton of money too.
Exactly.
And so that's extra money coming in the door, and they're not going to see a dime of that. It's like, what do you That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to. It shouldn't make sense to anyone. So.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to see a dime of it, but it's more that they're not going to see a good chunk of it, and that's why
commensurate. It should be commensurate.
Exactly. So anyway, that's the news. Let's get into the match preview. And yes, 7:30, June 12th. It's a Thursday match. We haven't played a Thursday match in I don't even know how long, but probably ever. I can't remember a Thursday match actually, but maybe it was Champions League.
I'm sure we've had a Thursday match.
Yeah, but
yeah. Well,
otherwise.
Either that or like Leagues. I think a Leagues Cup game was definitely Thursday, if I remember.
I don't remember, but either way, it has been a long time, and it will be at Yankee Stadium against NYCFC. It will be 10th place NYCFC with a 0 goal difference versus 13th with a -9 goal difference. That's us. It's glimmering stats right there, but NYCFC last played a 2-2 draw versus Nashville SC. They of course lost to us 4-3 at the Benz on March 29th earlier this season, and in what was a absolute barn burner crazy match. But that last 6 looks like basically 1 win for them, 1 win for us, and 4 draws. So there's a high likelihood that it might be a draw here. But basically their transfer window brought in a good bit of talent as far as maybe not a good bit, but there was moving out talent rather. But Christian McFarland, Jovan Midovic, James Sands all left, and not a significant kind of window for them as far as kind of movement actually. And the pundits kind of have been justified as where they thought they would be. Basically, they thought that they would be mostly around 10th, as low as basically 11th. But Ozzy Alonso had them in 5th, which Ozzy, he's looking a little wild with his predictions, but all good. But yeah. Basically, Pascal Johnson, not necessarily having them play in really kind of scintillating fashion. They're not really a team that has kind of an identity. They play with possession, and the first 11's fairly consistent, but not a really high pressing team. A team that is fairly poor at finishing their scoring chances. They are not really fantastic at defending either. It's basically very run of the mill, very mediocre. But the fact is that there have been over 2.5 goals scored in NYCFC's last 3 games, so there will be goals. And LA United have conceded at least 2 goals in their last 3 matches. So, it's the odds are not in our favor. According to Bet365, a home win is a 52.4%, a draw is 29.4%, and an away win is 25%. So, not great, Bob, but yes. The players that are out, probably anyway, Josh Cohen with his adductor, he's been out. I would imagine probably will be spared for this. Basically, Jaden Hibbert will probably take his steed as the backup goalkeeper still. Stian Gregerson, quadriceps, likely still out as well. Tristan Muyamba, also with his knee, likely will be out. And Cayman Togashi, probably out 4 to 5 more weeks, basically with that ACL. So I think the interesting stat here is that NYC has had 21 different players see minutes this season. Atlanta has seen 24. So both sides probably will have a lot of players probably chop and change in and out of the 11 here, probably as far as when the congestion does follow. But yeah, any thoughts on how Atlanta United should play in this match to be able to get kind of a semblance of results, 3 points? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, 3 things come to mind. Like, first is their striker, the Algerian Bakrar, has not been doing really great ever since he's got here. He's not a super big scoring threat. Maxi Morales is their real big, chance creator guy. He's always been an issue. He is an issue against every team he plays against, and he'll be an issue for us as usual. Sets up things, does really well, scores goals sometimes. Got to lock him down like we lock down like Lucho Acosta and Evander, or at least we attempt to. So that's going to be a big ask on our players who are tasked with that. If we can do that, like you pointed out, they don't have a large amount of players who are super dangerous, and they need help to score. What happened last game? We helped them. We gave them a bunch of soft goals. So if we can prevent that, they may not be able to find the back of the net, at least, definitely not 3. However, if we help them again, you could see 3 goals come out from them again. So, yeah, we're going to need to score probably at least 2 to win this, to get a result of some sort. 1 goal, maybe we can get away with it, but for the most part, it always seems like we give up a soft goal. So, and then New York City will probably score 1 on their own. So they'll probably score 2, and we got to at least get 2, maybe 1 to if we're lucky, but I just don't see it staying 1-0 for us. That seems like a result that just never happens. We just never have like a 1-0 win from us. I would love for that to be the case. Like, a lot of the commentators and press are talking about that too. Like, we need to figure out how to make this team be able to edge out victories, specifically on the road, because both in the coach and the press were saying you can't win every game like 3 to 4 goals, or like, and you can't allow people to be scoring 2-3 goals on you every game. When you're away, it's just not going to work. You're going to lose that like 9 times out of 10. So you got to eke out those 1-0 or gutsy 2-1 games on the road sometimes. We really, really need that. This stretch, going to be hard to do, but it'll be at least interesting to see if we can pull it off once.
Right. And, well, Ronny Deila obviously knows Yankee Stadium very well and how to play in it. So, that kid's playpen should at least be in the sense of familiar for the coaching staff and being able to win on it. So I would imagine that, we pack the middle a good bit because of the width of the pitch is, not as expansive as other stadiums. And the interesting bit is that NYCFC, they do play with a little bit more on the left as far as focusing in and on that side. So, LA United, I think if we start Saba, as a wing back, or Brooks Lennon, who is back available, it will be interesting how we, I think, deal with that on that side. But I think the main bit is that we will have to be as incisive as ever, which basically this season we haven't, through the middle. And yeah, it's gonna be how we're going to try to break down this side who, again, not great at really keeping teams off of the score sheet, but neither are we. So, we really have to, I think, try to pummel them through the middle. And, if we do maybe try to play some one-touch football to try to play through the lines quickly and, play with that quality, play with that, that ability to really cut through the middle, then maybe we can. And, I think we haven't really seen that since maybe the first 3 games of the season a bit. So, yeah, it's something that probably is a tall order, unfortunately. But let's get into that predicted starting 11. So Guzan between the sticks, probably. But I think the most interesting pick is going to be who is going to start at wingback. Who do you got, Michael?
I would like to see Saba at wingback. And I imagine Pedro Amador is healthy, so.
Yep. So I agree. Yeah, Saba, Amador as the wingbacks for me. Lennon can come on as energy later on in the game, but the three center back, not pairing, but I guess the trio,
triumvirate.
Yes, the triumvirate. Who would you go with?
So Williams, Abram, and Noah Cobb, I think.
Oh, not Edwards.
I mean, Edwards has done great and everything, but I'd like to see them switch him out once in a while, and give Noah a start. But if they go with Edwards, like I said, he's been good too. He's been able to go up against like Evander and some other big name players and attempt to lock them down. So, I mean, like if they put the trust in him and he gets the call, I have that faith in him as well. But again, like we always talk about, well, not always, but a lot of times we say we should play the kids a little bit more. Noah gets trotted out there a lot as the supplement when guys get tired. But once in a while, a starter when you're away, I mean, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I think there is this. I think Noah Cobb is a little bit more technical on the ball than Edwards, but I think Edwards possibly, because of his size, his physicality, is able to defend a little bit more against a variety of players, really, whether they're a winger, whether they're an attacking midfielder, or a striker as well. So I think for me, Edwards, Williams, and Abram, that has been, I think, the staple so far in at least. I mean, it's not been a banner defensive, kind of showcase by any means, but the continuity, I think, has been a little bit better in that, having those three. But let's get into midfield. Who do you have there? Is it a 3? Is it a 2? What do you got?
Yeah, it's a 3. Fortune, Sleesh, Moranchuk. I mean, Sleesh scoring and Ajani scoring, you gotta throw him in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you kind of have to play the hot hands there, hot feet. But I agree. Fortune, Sleesh, Moranchuk, I think are all of the guys there. With, I think, the caveat that they're probably gonna get a pretty short hook because of the international duty that they've all had to do. And so Click probably will come in for either one of them to spell them for a bit. But yeah, that probably gets us to strikers, unless you are somehow putting somebody on a wing and just, or a free roll. Who knows? Like, who do you got? Probably pretty obvious, but yeah.
Yeah, I got Emmanuel Lattelat and Almiron as the dual strikers. Some people have been saying they'd prefer to see what Jamal and ELL would look like working together. I mean, as an away game experiment, it's like I'm pretty sure Ronny has figured out what he wants to do from now on. So I don't think we'll see that much experimenting. Like to your point with Edwards earlier. So I think we'll probably see a similar lineup over and over again, build consistency. So I'm expecting that to be the case. So the people who are like, well, I kind of, maybe if, I don't know, Emmanuel Lattelat keeps getting pulled like way before 90. So if we ever see him go a full 90, then maybe we'll see him out there with Jamal if Miguel gets tired instead. But never seems to be the case.
Yeah.
Or rarely, rather.
Well, it's also because you have some quality off of the bench in Jamal Tiare, who has been scoring goals too. So I think, you don't just let him rot on the bench in that sense. So, and then we did see Lattelat and also Tiare play together, recently as well. So there is that. It's just they haven't started. I can't imagine Miggy will be, benched for any reason. I mean, he hasn't necessarily, like we said in the last episode, he hasn't laid an egg. Has he made some mistakes?
Man, people calling for him to be benched. It's pretty wild out there on the social media. So
And yeah, I don't think it justifies that. I mean, I think obviously he still is contributing in a lot of ways. And yeah, as far as goals and assists, yeah, you probably want a little bit more of that. But still, I think, you know, what's happening is still he's helping in build up. He's helping in our press. I mean, he's still massively a team player. So yeah, I think you let him play his way into form, essentially. But as well as Manuel Atelat. And, you know, without another striker with, you know, Keiman Togashi injured, I can't see TRA and ELL starting together. So, but yeah, let's get into our score prediction. What do you got? I mean, you pretty much alluded to it already, and I might have the same exact score line. What you got?
I'm hoping for a 2-2 draw.
Mm-hmm. Heart and mind, though. What does the mind say?
Probably a 2-1 loss. It's probably more likely.
And that's exactly what I got. Unfortunately, my mind says 2-1. My heart is hopefully thinking that, yeah, Deila, he's got the antidote for finally winning at Yankee Stadium, you know, with maybe some regularity. I know, it's crazy. It's I don't know. It's that hope.
You're not even gonna stop at getting a draw. You're going straight to winning.
I mean, Deila has coached there. I mean, you would think that he's got some sort of inkling of like, okay.
I know. Like, you said that, and I get that, but I mean, like, think of it like this. This is something that kind of stewed in my brain for a little while. Mm-hmm. When the fact that we keep getting demolished by Red Bull, right? And he keeps telling the players, because Red Bull was his Hudson Derby rival for a while, and it was a big deal to play against the Red Bulls and figure them out and learn how to beat them, you know, and it was like a big thing for him. So you'd think he knows how to play against Red Bull really well, and he kind of does, and he told his team what to do. They didn't listen.
Yeah.
And they got smacked for it.
Yeah.
How am I now to assume, oh, he knows how to play at New York City Stadium, and he'll convey to them the wisdom that will help them play better there? Who's to say they'll listen? That's the problem.
Well, yeah, exactly. That is the problem. But yes, does he have probably the insight how to win at Yankee Stadium? Yeah. Will the team actually implement and do what he says? That's been the problem all year long. So yeah, no idea. But again, heart saying something different, and you know, the hope is what kills you. So what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. But yes, pretty much is the episode there and there, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, will the international break have refreshed the troops and given the boys a renewed outlook on the rest of the season? Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Looking forward to what you have to say. But guys, that is the episode there and there. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's Michael. I'm AJ. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video.